right, multiple people are talking about UFO disclosure today, so let's talk about that and a whole lot more. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Oh, and by the way, if you have been messaging me or emailing me and I haven't been responding, it's because my wife and I are hectically getting ready for our big trip on Friday. We'll be gone for maybe a month overseas, and just been really busy. I will try to get to all of you guys when I have a chance. But thank you very much for reaching out to me, and again, I'll try to get back to you when I can. But okay, well, let's move on with the news. Garry Nolan here is saying, first of all, that, if we had open contact with the beings, that it's not like we could trade with them or anything, according to Garry. Even if we, offer them $1 trillion for something, that may only equal a penny in their currency if they had any. And then he keeps on going.
At best, we have nothing to give them. Nothing. And so, what's in it for them then to give us anything other than goodwill and the hope that there is goodwill, right? And so I think that that's kind of where you have to start this discussion. And I think then, at best, we take advantage only by mimicry.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. There's Garry saying we can see what their technology is capable of and try to mimic it. And that's really the best case scenario. Of course, we seem to have our own UFOs and have been reverse engineering some of this stuff for many years. So it does seem to go further than that. But it's an interesting perspective that he brings. And he says that, we can hope the beings have goodwill and they may do things for goodwill reasons. And I sure hope that's the case, guys. So let me know what you think about that. Is there a possibility that we could trade with the beings? We do seem to have stuff they want. It seems to be us, as well as other things. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I mean, they could have created us, and they could be tweaking us and refining us over time. And they clearly have some sort of spiritual or metaphysical interest in us as well. So I would love to understand it all. Seems like an important thing to understand. But there you go. There's Garry's perspective. Meanwhile, Leslie Kean is talking about official government UFO disclosure. And, let's just listen to what she has to say, talking about Lou in that faction.
I think also to remember that what everyone is asking for, like Lou and the others, working along those lines, is not that we reveal national security information, right, obviously, but just that the world has a right to know that we're not alone, that basic fact. And to me, that's kind of like a scientific fact. It's like knowing that the Earth is round and not flat.
Yeah.
Or no.
Absolutely, Leslie. We deserve a right to know. At present, reality is classified, and that is such BS. The powers that be are keeping the shape of the cosmos from us. We live in this little bubble of what we perceive as reality, but really there's so much more going on. And parts of the control group are interacting with that. According to various sources like Mike Herrera, we have ships that are leaving Earth and going somewhere for some reason. We don't know why. But yeah, multiple sources, credible sources, are saying we've got our own ships and we're doing stuff. Richard Dolan calls it the breakaway civilization. They have this technology derived from the beings, one way or another, and they're using it. The control group is using it in their breakaway civilization, running around in UFOs, doing God knows what. And meanwhile, keeping that reality, the shape of reality from us, that we are not alone, that there is indeed all this other stuff going on, and we just live in our own little bubble, and that is just wrong, guys. That is just not right. But meanwhile, Ross Coulthart is also talking about stuff. Let's get to the appropriate page here. Yeah, Ross says, I think it's inevitable that solid scientific investigation almost certainly privately funded, will reveal the existence of NHI. Government disclosure, according to Ross, is a complete waste of time. Their heart is not in it. I think even sympathetic congressional representatives are excessively manipulable with talk of protecting national security. The only way to revealing this is independent, objective investigation. Of course, he would say that as an independent investigator. Everybody's biased in their own sphere, but he has a point. I mean, U.S. government, for example, doesn't seem particularly motivated to disclose. They have probably been making more progress on it than any other major country. Passing the Schumer Rounds Amendment, even in its neutered form, is a huge deal. I mean, it mentions non-human intelligence, several times. So, and that's an official bill signed by the president. So that's pretty huge, really. That's UFO disclosure in a way. But Ross has a good point. We can't really rely on the government to disclose. That's where I think CE5 and personal contacts come in handy. That's why I call Stephen Greer the Martin Luther of ufology for providing the Protestant model to us, popularizing CE5, where we can have our own personal, relationship with the phenomenon, not having to go through the Catholic model of the authority of the government. But we need government disclosure. We need official government disclosure because we need oversight of these programs that, again, are doing God knows what. But meanwhile, the phenomenon is definitely manifesting to certain people. This is from John Bell of Real Florida UFO with another great sighting. Look at this fantastic orb. Well, whatever that is. Is that a nuts and bolts craft? Is that something else? Let me know what you think this crazy craft is. But it is super bright, and it just kind of slowly flies through the skies, from overhead into the distance. A big, bright, beautiful orb. I think that John's contacts are, clearly interacting with him intentionally. It's possible that it could be just a hot spot that he's living in, and that anybody could, get these interactions. But I don't think so, because the orbs will buzz around him, low down, and one of them hit his truck and rattled it. Just incredible contact. I encourage everybody to go check out his channel, Real Florida UFO, and of course I'll link to that below. We also have another beautiful orb video from Peter Maxwell Slattery, who I'm a big fan of and I've had on the channel. And, he does these CE5 events and these contact events out at Jaya Sanctuary, or is it Jay Sanctuary, in Australia. And he gets just a fantastic contact as well. Peter is one of these, high-level experiencers, as I call him, that has been taken to other dimensions and told lots of stuff. And anyway, it's just amazing contact that he and John and others are having thanks to CE5. And that's where I think that maybe a lot of effort should be geared toward, is this personal contact with the phenomenon. But we can't forget about official government disclosure, because we need oversight of those programs. The control group, they are running around in UFOs. They're helping beings abduct people. God knows what they're doing. They're shooting at some UFOs, working with other occupants of other UFOs. Yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, Ronnie Vernett, who you might remember is the investigator that went down to the Amazon to explore the UFO flap there and got a lot of really interesting evidence that most of which we have yet to see. Also, of course, encountered poltergeist activity, because often you don't get one without the other. When you have UFOs, you also have the metaphysical stuff. In Las Vegas, aliens in their backyard 1 minute, haunted house the next. Skinwalker Ranch, obviously the paranormal and UFO stuff exist side by side. That's what Ronnie found when he went to the Amazon. And now he is being stymied by his own government. He says, soon I will not be able to post anymore here on Twitter due to the Brazilian Supreme Court decision. So follow me on YouTube, and I have. Of course, it's largely not in English, but I will definitely be following him and trying to understand it as best I can. So I encourage everybody to go give him a follow. Let's see. Meanwhile, we have lots of interesting things going on. James Fox is talking about paying for the trailer for his new movie, The Program. Poor James. He's been hit by one problem after another. Now he's having to pay for trailers. This trailer, did it cost $25,000 just for the trailer for The Program? Wow. Well, I sure hope he makes millions of dollars with his new documentary. I know we're all really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's but you go, James. You keep on keeping at it. Meanwhile, Edward Riordan from the Future Forecasting Group is showing the accurate results of another remote viewing prediction. Unfortunately, kind of a tragic, thing to be proven right on. I'm a member of the Future Forecasting Group website. They do amazing remote viewings, and every month they'll do predictions for the next month. In addition to lots of other fantastic hour-long remote viewing sessions and reports. But in this particular one, they remote viewed, or Edward did, this burning church or cathedral. And very tragically, that is exactly what happened. Church in France in flames, built in 1854, survived 2 world wars, and now it is burned. So an accurate remote viewing prediction from Future Forecasting Group, but again, a very sad thing to be proven right on. Meanwhile, Ross Coulthart is talking about psionic abilities. It's really interesting to see this stuff entering the mainstream, and we definitely need to learn the relationship of psionic abilities in UFOs. They are definitely related. But Ross says psionic. Yes, I am very interested in an alleged psionic program that the U.S. government and certain private corporations have been operating for some considerable time. That's why I recently put Uri Geller on my reality check show, and he's probably here talking about remote viewing. People missed the point of my interviewing him. I've been abused by folks for giving him credibility. Yes, he was accused of being a fraud and a charlatan, but have a look at the CIA library, declassified files, and look at the work the CIA did with him to show his psionic abilities were allegedly verified as authentic 50 years ago. And indeed, he was going in skiffs with generals who were saying that indeed Uri Geller had true abilities, and he was on the level, and he is on the level. These, Ross says, were rigidly scientific controlled blind studies. Why was the CIA interested in psionic psychic abilities so many years ago, and has it really stopped that interest? I don't think it has at all. I suspect the GATE program, the Stargate program, for gifted and talented education was, and probably still is, used illegally by the U.S. military and certain private companies to find kids with psionic abilities. What I am hearing is shocking. It makes MK Ultra and Sidney Gottlieb's crimes with LSD and other drugs look like child's play. Interested to hear from anyone who knows what I'm talking about. And here I think that he's probably talking about the Mike Herrera type information, where it looks like the control group is, forcefully or strongly recruiting people in the third world who have psychic or psionic abilities to interact with this technology, and also to lure in UFOs to be shot at. I think that Ross and Mike have probably been in contact, and I'm wondering if that's where Ross's head is at with this last part of this section here. And I wonder what corroborating information he must have amassed to go public with these statements. He must have been able to corroborate Mike's information on some level, or at least something similar. So let me know what you guys think Ross has found out, and what the heck the control group is doing with people with psychic abilities. We know that some people are willing, like Uri Geller, but they don't all seem to be willing, or at least it seems to be unethical how the control group acquired them in their program, and certainly unethical what they are doing with them, luring UFOs in to be shot at. You know, as I've said before, if you're shooting down a UFO intentionally, you're not expecting retaliation. So that seems to indicate to me that you don't think that UFO or the group that that UFO belongs to is hostile. So, yeah, I mean, a hostile alien would massively retaliate, right? Heck, even a mildly good UFO or alien being or race would probably retaliate to discourage you from shooting them down in the future. You'd have to be pretty benevolent, I think, to not, respond at all to having your UFOs shot down. Or heck, maybe they just have so many UFOs they don't even care. Either way, it doesn't seem like it's hostile. So yeah, that's why we need oversight of these UFO programs. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Meanwhile, there's still a lot of drama with the Lou Elizondo situation. Now, Jay Stratton's wife has come out saying some stuff. I don't really want to get into it too much until I hear a reply from Lou, or at least some response from that camp. But yeah, Jay Stratton's wife is definitely putting out some strong allegations about Lou Elizondo, and I think that's very unfortunate. Whatever Lou is or might have been, we owe our current age of UFO disclosure to Lou Elizondo. Without him, I wouldn't have gotten into UFOs, and I'm sure a lot of you wouldn't have either. We wouldn't have David Grush. We wouldn't have any of these publicly acknowledged UFO programs and investigations. We certainly wouldn't have laws being passed about UFO disclosure. Yeah, Joe Murgy is continuing to talk about it. I really need to hear more about what, I need to hear a response from Lou or his side before I really dive into that anymore. But it's, not nice what Mrs. Stratton is saying about Lou Elizondo. And I think that's too bad because at one point, Jay and Lou were good friends. Meanwhile, the astronauts that are stuck up in space, thanks to Boeing, are hearing strange noises.
Houston on 2, got a question about Starliner.
Houston's with you, Butch. Go ahead.
There's a strange noise coming through the speaker, and I didn't know if you could connect into the Starliner and let me keep mic and let you hear it. I don't know what's making it, but I don't know if it's something that maybe is connected between here and there, making that happen. But anyway, can you do that?
We can configure that, Butch. Give us a minute, and I'll call you back when it's ready.
Okay.
Station Houston on 2, we're configured for audio via hardline and CST, if you want to give us a call.
Okay, I'm in Starliner, and how do you read?
5x5, how many?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm gonna keep the mic up next to the speaker.
Copy.
Hear that?
At negative, Butch, we did not hear anything.
That.
All right, Butch, that one came through. It was kind of like a pulsing noise, almost like a sonar ping.
Yeah, I'll do it one more time, and I'll let y'all scratch your heads and see if you can figure out what's going on. Here we go. All right, over to you. Tell us if you figure it out.
Yep, good recording. Thanks, Butch.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to be stuck in space hearing spooky noises. Oh my gosh, do you think that's aliens? What is that? Let me know your theories about that, and let me know what you think about everything else covered here today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.